What is up, Gorilla Nation? It is Relentless here, bringing you a weekly vendor reset. As always, we're going to start here at the base of operations, and then we'll move to the dark zones, and then we'll finish it off with the settlements. It is December the 24th, 2019, Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everyone that celebrates Christmas. So let's start first here. We got a Tommy gun with steady-handed, extra, and stop, drop, and roll. A FAL that has measured and distance along with overlapped. A 586 Magnum with vindictive, optimized, and overlap. A Providence Defense backpack with 2.5% weapon damage, 21% skill haste, 7% crit chance, destructive, tech support, and of course a utility mod slot. Next we have an Overlord Armaments chest piece with 6.5% health, 23 182 health, 9% headshot damage, destructive, and then an offensive defensive mod slot. Next, we have an offensive systems firearms mod with 0.5% of weapon damage, 5% going to shotgun damage, and 3% LMG damage. And I guess the Division Santa is now Division Satan because he's just fueling the flames of those potato aiming bot shotgunners. Next, we have a drone at 73.2% health and a turret mod which is actually an auxiliary battery with 295 skill power. Now let's move on over to the level 30 clan vendor. Alright, the level 30 clan vendor, we have the Commando. Look, I know you're brave, but don't go jumping into a fight naked. Cassie Mendoza. And you know what's so funny about this inscription? She probably had me in the back of her mind, thinking about me because, every time we're together, it's like, two mad animals in heat just going at one another. And of course, she typically wants me naked, but, that particular time of the month rolls around, yeah, she don't want me naked, and I surely don't want to be naked. But anyways, moving on. Negotiator Dilemma knee pads with 16,306 armor and a defensive utility mod slot. A hardwired mask with 15% skill haste and 20% damage to elites. A true Patriot mask with 36% damage to elites and 15% hazard protection. An X45 with steady-handed, stable, and recharge. An officer's M9A1 with killer, optimized, stop, drop, and roll. Overlord Armaments gloves with marksman rifle damage, assault rifle damage, and devastating. DNH, or as I call them, Dave and Buster's gloves with 220 skill power and 2% crit hit chance with compensated. An F2000 with killer, Allegro, and Wascowie. It's a gear score 500 and not too shabby. I might actually come pick this up for myself and probably re-roll killer for something else, just to see exactly how good the F2000 is. Next, we have a Heligard knee pads with 8.5% total armor with empowered and 2 defensive mod slots. I think I'll purchase those. I got a good use for them. Next, we have a Commie backpack with 7% total armor, 282 skill power, and 20% skill haste with skilled hard hitting. And a defensive systems mod with 55-28 health, 13% poison resistance. To those of you that meet me at Dark Zone when I'm running my pestilence, you definitely need a lot of that. And then 14% burn damage. Next, we have a utility systems mod with 103 skill power, 100 shield skill power, and 142 hive skill power. Next, we have a Chem Launcher, 35.9% and snare health. And then finally, we have a Firefly 166.2% skill haste. On to DZ East, and we'll see you guys and gals when we get there. Alright, we have arrived here in DZ East. Let's check out this vendor. A custom M44 with preservation, accurate, and recharged. An military MK46 with ranger and optimized. I would say this is kind of on the mid to upper tier because I am running an LMG build. And if you slap unhinged on there, you could get over 30k. But since it has optimized in the secondary slot, I advise to find something else. But if you're looking for one, and especially for PvE, then it doesn't necessarily matter too much. Moving on to an Overlord Mask with 21% damage to elites, 75-93 health on kill with spotter. A Suck Me Off holster with 6.5% crit damage, 249 skill power, 3% crit chance, and of course filler up. Next, we have a utility systems mod with 131 skill power, 70 Chem Launcher skill power, and then 133 Seeker. Next, we have a Chem Launcher mod with 42.2% radius, a Hive mod with 42.3% duration, and a Pulse mod with 21.6% effect duration. On to DZ West. Alright, we've arrived here in DZ West, so let's see what this vendor holds. First, as soon as it comes in, is a Tactical Super 90 SBS with a breadbasket accurate and in rhythm, a Military MK17 with eyeless accurate and recharged, a Providence Defense gloves with 3% SMG damage, 6978 health with insulated. Next, we have a Badger Muff knee pads with 5605 armor, 3.5% crit chance, a Defensive Protocol Resilience mod, 6224 health, 11% poison resistance, and 14% burn resistance. Next, we have a Seeker mod with 23.6% health, a Shield mod with 68.6% health, and a Firefly mod with 17.4% speed. On to DZ South. Now, we've arrived here at the final DZ vendor. It has a PP19 with Outsider, Distance, and Cannon, a Military P416, 17.5Ks with Vindictive, Optimized, and Cannon, Snub-Nosed, with Preservation and Optimized Protected Reload, a 5-in-1 backpack with 3.5% crit damage, 15,152 health, 14% skill haste, efficient, and vital. Next, we have a Fenris chest piece with 5.5% crit chance, 17,180 health, 7% weapon damage with Mad Bomber, and insulated with an offensive mod slot. We have an Offensive Protocol critical mod with 3.5% critical hit chance, 3% optimal range, and 1.5% weapon damage. I mean, if you absolutely need 3.5% crit chance to at least get you over 50, I can see it. But other than that, it's just a waste of a buy. Next, we have a Drone mod, 91.3% health. A Turret mod, 61.8% health. All right, now on to the settlement. We've arrived here at the theater. This vendor has a Spaz 12 shotgun with Pummel and Optimized Zen, a lightweight M4 with Ranger, accurate and recharged, RK gloves with pistol damage, shotgun damage, and opportunistic, Wyvernware knee pads with crit chance, hard hitting, and offensive mod slot, a defensive systems mod with 64-67 health, 9% ensnare resistance, and 15% blind death resistance, a 60% damage seeker mine mod, and 11.7% plus 3 max targets. All right, on to the last settlement. She has a Socom Mk20 SSR with close and personal, accurate and wascally. No, not the rabbit or the rabbit, but it is the holster talent on a weapon. Military M60E4 with measured and Allegro 28.1, definitely on the low side. Next, we have an Alps Summit Mask with 26% skill haste, self-adjusting, a utility mod slot, an Overlord Armaments holster with 14,940 health, 7.5% crit hit damage, and a defensive mod. A utility mod with skill power 54, and then 2% increased shock duration, and then 3% increased blind duration. A chem launcher mod at 25.9% radius. A hive mod with 44.3% health. And then finally, a pulse mod with 42.6% charge speed. I'll be back in a minute and talk to you in a minute. Yeah, we're going to straighten your little silent ass out. But anyways, that's going to conclude this vendor reset. Hope you all are having a happy holiday season. Merry Christmas.